What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name's KT. If you're new here, peace and love to you all, man. So I just wanted to shoot a quick video on some of the most valuable lessons that I've learned thus far during my journey, social media marketing space. And yeah, hopefully you can learn a thing or two to, maybe help you avoid a lot of the initial hurdles I faced when, I first started out. So I think one of the most crucial things, if I'm giving any advice to someone that's like literally in the beginning stages of starting their agency, is to stop putting so much focus and attention on money. I found that as soon as I took my attention away from just, the dollars, and I really put a certain level of focus on, who it is that I'm trying to serve and why, and really just constructing my offer, I was then able to, onboard a couple of clients fairly quickly, considering the amount of time that it was already spent, like trying to build my agency, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, just really focus on the service that you're trying to provide and who it is that you're trying to offer these services to, you know what I mean? That way there's a lot less internal pressure that you feel on yourself as far as performance, what's expected, and I guess measuring your short-term successes and your short-term wins, yes, you should say. Because oftentimes if we're thinking like we're only gonna be measuring our short-term wins in the value of dollars, it's gonna be a lot harder to remain motivated. And like I said, you're just putting a lot of unnecessary pressure on yourself that isn't actually helping the business, right? First point. And again, just to elaborate on one of the other points that I was just touching on as far as focusing on who it is that you're trying to serve and why. So of course, constructing a very concise and specific offer, but then also understanding who it is that you're trying to offer these services to and why, and really being able to support that based on your own experience, who it is that you are, and the skill sets that you have in place that makes sense as far as why it is that you're trying to serve this specific demographic. So that's huge. That was really big for me, because at first it was like, okay, yeah, I know that I want to start a social media marketing agency, but I don't know exactly yet the exact offer that I want to put in place, as well as the particular group of people that I'm trying to reach out to. Because at first when I was doing my outreach, it was kind of broad, because at first it was, if you're new to the channel, I spoke about this in some of my other videos, but I've recently reconstructed my offer, so it's more of a creative side that we're focusing on now, as opposed to before I jumped straight into the e-com niche for a lot of reasons. Some of my past videos, if you want a little more context on that, but yeah, so I dove straight into the e-com niche, and in the beginning it was really just me trying to understand, okay, yes, I want to serve those who have an e-com store, but I do think it's very important to understand even within that niche to have a sub niche, right? So it's like, okay, yeah, they have an e-com store, but what kind of e-com store owners? So that's what I really spent a lot of time on initially, and the amount of time spent, and with all the feedback that I've now been able to receive, I've definitely been able to get a better understanding of who I'm trying to serve and why. So that is huge, man. So really understand the importance of having direction, right? And that way you're able to work a lot more efficiently and effectively, and not kind of try and do too much at once, right? So early on, I do think it's totally fair and totally necessary to kind of dabble a little bit here and there within certain niches, just to get a feel for, what the responses look like, the amount of calls that you are or aren't getting. And in that way you can reevaluate your game plan and put something together that actually makes a lot more sense. You know what I mean? So although it is still very early in my journey, these are some of the more valuable things that I've learned thus far. You know what I mean? So another very important thing that I've learned thus far is really just the importance of creating systems. You know what I mean? As far as, when you're supposed to be doing what and why. And what I mean by that is, okay, when am I going to be shooting content? When am I going to be doing cold outreach, cold email, cold calling? And then when am I going to be doing warm outreach? So Upwork, right? Things like that. But then also, when I do onboard the clients, what systems do I have in place that will ensure that not only am I able to get their business initially, but how I'm able to retain them for ongoing months? And that's super crucial. And I feel like it's something it's not as talked about, at least in my opinion, on YouTube. The importance of just having systems in place that will ensure that you're able to retain these clients long-term and build valuable partnerships, right? So just ensuring that everything is going to be as smooth as possible for them on the back end, super important. Right? So of course, within every agency and every niche, there are going to be different systems that you're going to need to have in place to really enhance the experience for your clients as much as possible, and to also ensure that it's not high maintenance in any way as far as getting them into your systems and into your ecosystem. Hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, next point. Okay, so this is gonna be the last point that I touch on in this particular video, but arguably the most important, okay? Learning how to control your focus and to not be robbed of it. This is gonna vary, amongst every individual. We all have different habits, we all have different personalities, right? But what I mean when I say not being robbed of your focus, I'm really trying to say that you essentially have the utmost control that you may not be aware of, where your energy is going and why, okay? So understanding what to focus on, and of course for me, like I, constructed a lot of effective habits pertaining to, when I'm consuming, I guess social media in particular, unless it's like work related, so like personal social media use. So, like things like not using social media in the morning, because even if you do like just go on social media, for a short amount of time early on in your day, that's gonna have so much impact on the flow for the rest of your day. So again, whether you're conscious to it or not, if you consume social media early on in your day and you're trying to get in like a really deep workflow, you may be processing and thinking about a lot of the things that you were consuming on social media in your subconscious mind, which is ultimately robbing you of your focus and diminishing the rate in which you can work and how efficient you're able to get a lot of your tasks done, right? So it's huge, man. Like just creating a lot of effective habits, practicing self-discipline amongst all areas in your life, because all these other habits that you put in place in all these different areas in your life ultimately all pertain to the same thing at the end of the day, which is your own self-discipline, your own habits, and how consistent you're able to remain within the habits that you've put together. So that's huge, man. Like, and I think now I've really been able to get myself into a flow where I'm able to, practice these habits like unconsciously. And what I mean by that is, like say for example, like you're driving home from work, let's say. You've driven home from work so many different times that you don't need to be 100% conscious as you're driving. Like, okay, I gotta turn right here, I gotta turn left here, I gotta go back around this way. Like, no, like it's muscle memory at this point. So you don't have to constantly remind yourself of how to get home, right? Because it's muscle memory now. Therefore, you're able to do these things unconsciously, right? So you need to get to a place in your own journey where your habits are so thorough and so deep within your subconscious mind, you don't even have to remind yourself not to do this, not to do that, right? So again, starting your days off and winning your mornings so you aren't robbed of your focus early on, it's huge, man. It's everything. And it's done so much for me. And although it is still within the beginning stages of our agency, it's done wonders for me as a person and the business. So I know at this point, staying consistent within the habits that I've put together won't be a problem. And I challenge you to do the same. And yeah, I hope that you were able to take away some type of value from this video. I really do look forward to like putting out content like this all the time. It's something that I genuinely enjoy. And for those of you that are watching and made this far in the video, much love to you. You know what I'm saying? Look forward to connecting with you all and yeah, seeing what else I'm able to put together. If you have any suggestions of anything that you may want to see on the channel, definitely feel free to drop a suggestion in the comments below. Definitely have a look through those. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, much love to you all, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. If you found this video helpful in any way, give it a thumbs up and definitely subscribe to the channel. Definitely gonna be posting more content just like this. So yeah, man, I'll be seeing y'all soon. It's KT, man.